Hello, good evening, and welcome to Rangers Radio. My name is Fox, and joining me on the show tonight is Albert and Young JM. Good evening, lads.
Good evening, mate. How are you doing?
I'm pretty nervous, mate. I've not done this for a while, so I'll do my best. JM, how are you?
Yeah, evening, guys. Good, thanks. Great to be on with the original young team.
Oh, there. Oh, very good, mate. Very good. Well, where do we start? Start today with, of course, a great legend of our past, Brian Loudrop, 55 today. We wish to wish him a very, very happy 55th birthday and wish your memories of him. JM, go to you first. You're a young kid.
I'm a young kid, so most of my memories of him are actually videos. Videos on YouTube, to be honest. Can't pretend to have watched much of him live, but being told what a great player he was. And the one that stands up for me, obviously, was his famous goal, but the famous Loudrop Cup final for me. Scoring the 2 and setting up the 3. That was a great cup final. I've watched that many times on YouTube.
Very good. Albert, your first memories of him?
Oh, my first memories is the terror he used to put into the mob across the city. The pure fear in their faces. I always remember the runs he done, the one at Hampden especially. Superb, mate. Superb player. Is that many of them? The one he scored against Dundee United in the top corner, he ran half the length of the Ibrox and smashed one in the top corner at the Celtic end, or the old Celtic end. Superb. There's that many goals. There's that many games. I mean, I don't think I actually ever seen him playing a bad game, mate.
Aye, that's a fair comment. Very illustrious career with us at Rangers. For me, probably his best football that he played was at us. He had a kind of sticky start to his football life. Went to Bayern Munich first, apart from Bromby, went to Bayern Munich, Fiorentina, AC Milan, and then he came to us. Some amount of things he's won in the game. Did you know he won a UEFA Champions League medal? Do you know that?
No, I didn't know.
I couldn't tell you which one it was, but I did read that earlier. He'd won a European Cup. I did read that earlier.
He won it with AC Milan when he was on loan for Fiorentina. Didn't he go on well with the manager at Fiorentina? And he loaned him out to AC Milan. And I think it was it 94? It was the Milan-Barcelona game. It was the final where both him and his brother, Michael, failed to appear in the final because of the 3 foreign player rule. Michael fell out with Barcelona at the time and moved on to Real Madrid. And of course, the great Brian ended up moving on to us for 2.3 million. And what a player, mate. What an absolute player.
I remember I've seen on YouTube plenty of times the famous interview when whoever it was questioning if Loudrop was going to be at European standard, at Champions League standard. I remember seeing Walter Smith going berserk at that one.
Well, of course, he came to light at first. Well, to everybody's attention, I think it would be the 92, the European Championships when Denmark were called in at the last minute, and he appeared, and of course they went on to win it. But Michael decided to stay on holiday and didn't turn up at all. So yeah, that's when he first came to light for me. That was the first time I ever noticed him. Yourself, Albert?
Aye, it's more his brother we knew about, because his brother was some player as well. So I knew about Michael, but no Brian. But I soon learned about Brian when he came to us. He was a superb player. A 2.3 million, just to touch on that. I mean, what do you get for 2.3 million nowadays? Not, I mean, Joey Barton, less. I mean, that's what you're getting for that kind of money now. We get Brian Loudrop. Bargain of the century, that one, mate. Absolutely brilliant player. And it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable he picked Rangers. I mean, that's only Walter. Walter spoke to him and he chose to come to Rangers. Unbelievable. Just thinking about that, it's unbelievable. But aye, he had a good career, mate. I never realised it spanned all the teams. I forgot he played for Bayern Munich. I knew he was in Italy, and he didn't like Italy. He didn't like the regimental way they treated their players. No, I mean the certain things, and then when you didn't win, the crowd attacked you basically, because they said he had to leave a few of the grounds after they get beat or drew in the boot of a motor. So just shows you know what I mean. We think we're fanatical. We're not that bad, mate. We don't take defeat well, but we're not that bad. Yeah.
Is he doing a Bridgman? Is he doing a Bridgman?
I don't know.
I don't know what he's doing. Yeah,
I am indeed, mate. Of
he
course
is doing a bit. I could tell something was trying to come through. I could tell.
That's all right.
Of course, with us, he won the Premiership 94, 95 and 96, which was absolutely tremendous for the Rangers sport. Throw in the Scottish Cup in 95, 96 and the Scottish League Cup in 1996, 97. So his honours were good. What did you think of him as an actual player, JM, if you've watched him on video? What was his most important attributes, would you say?
He just looked, as in, from that era, it's harder to believe. He just looked the complete player, didn't he? He looked like he obviously looked like he could, I've seen him spot some passes, but the way he carried the ball and dribbled it, and he looked to have just that little burst of pace. But what we get now, we get players now that are either quick or have got skill or not both. But he just looked to have both. He could dribble with the ball with pace and with balance, and it was just, you watch the videos and you just get jealous that your generation got to watch him live properly, not just on a video.
Yourself, Albert, I mean, for me, he was elegant, technically gifted,
It was pace and power, mate. Pace, power, composure, technique. Could score a goal, could take a shot. It's unbelievable. If you think about he actually could score with the head as well, no. But his actual power of running with the ball was superb to watch. Mate. Not many people took the ball off him. Not many people outran him. But his actual composure and his technique was just excellent. Mate. Just superb player. It's unbelievable to think that you watched a player of that caliber. We thought we had good players, but you never thought we're going to get players of that caliber. I mean, these players were something special. And for him to play for us and watch him running down, you say he runs down the wing, he runs down the wing, he runs down the centre of the park, he ran everywhere, mate. As JM said, that cup final, he was absolutely everywhere on that park, crossing the ball, shooting, everything. He gets the man of the match. Gordon Jury scores a hat-trick and doesn't get the man of the match. It's remembered as a Loudrop final. It's mad, isn't it? It's absolutely mad. But what a player. Absolute brilliant player, mate.
I can remember a quote, I think it was John Gregg that said that he was just as happy supplying chances for people as he was scoring himself, and he was a great team player, As you
There's only one downside, as Ox has just pointed out there. He was ugly.
Oh God, I wish I was that ugly, mate.
I know, good looking as well. 6'2". He just had it all, didn't he? He had it
still.
And if you look at him now, you could feel he could just put a strip on and walk out and start playing the day. He's a superb guy, an absolute. I don't like why he left right enough, but apart from that, it's football-wise, hard to pick better players.
Where did he go to? Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah, Chelsea.
Chelsea.
I don't know if he was one of the types of players that just after a couple of years would like to move on, because the amount of clubs he had, he didn't stick about anywhere long,
7 games at Chelsea, I'm just seeing there. 7 games.
He admitted that himself. It was a wrong decision. It took a year to get him because he was going to. Chelsea were after him the year before, and we made him the club captain. You remember that? We made him the club captain to keep him. He played that year and never had a particularly good season that season. And then he left that summer and went down to Chelsea. But he admitted it was a wrong move. He'd get turned. Definitely, he should have finished his career at Ibrox. He really should have. A lot of players, Fox, have left and came to the realisation that they're at the biggest club they're ever going to play for.
Oh, well, that's true. That's true. Young JM was saying there about how to see that quality at Ibrox. Can you just give me 3 or 4 players that you would call real quality that you've seen playing in Scotland?
Well, we're Rangers or just in Scotland?
In Scotland, but of course, if you're looking for quality, they're probably likely to be with us, isn't they?
Right, out with Gascoigne. Out with
No, you can out with Loudrop, yep.
Aye, so well, Gascoigne's one for me, anyway.
If I'm going with what I've seen, like we'll go for one each top. We'll go for one each at a time. If we're going from what I've seen live, probably I'd say the top for me would be Ronald de Boer.
Oh, that's a good job. He was another class player. He was
a similar sort of player, maybe by the looks of it, maybe just not quite as quick, but a bit as clever. Maybe a touch. If you're going to compare, maybe a bit more of a thinker, but not as quick.
Yeah, another one.
De Boer's a superb player.
Another one with famous brother, huh?
Well, Frank.
I would take the easy option here, mate, and go for Gaza, who I thought was a world-class player and absolutely showed some of his best football up here playing for Rangers. He was another terrific one. Can you name another one, boys?
Yeah, I would go for Ray Wilkins.
Yep, another class player. Another one that played at Ibrox. You, JM?
Yeah, maybe coming to the end of it, and I'm scraping a bit from sort of memory and saying a bit. Klausgo Kaniska. Obviously, he was a and he was known around. He was known around the world as well, wasn't he? Being a real class act. Obviously, by the time he got to Scotland, maybe a little bit, but still a class act, wasn't he? And scored some important goals for us as well.
Without a doubt. Came via Dundee, of course. Came late in his career, but what a fabulous international player he was as well. Loved seeing him in I think it was 2 World Cups, wasn't he, Canija?
Oh yeah, he's some player. Some player at the height of his career. He was some player with us, but at the height of his career when he was playing in the Argentinian international team with Maradona, players like that. You know what I mean? And he didn't look out of place. Put it that way, he didn't look out of place in amongst that company. He was a superb player.
What was the big striker's name? Was it Batistuta or something, wasn't it?
Aye, big Batistuta.
What a player he was.
Right. A brilliant. Another one. He played with, is it Roma or who did he play with?
Didn't he play in Scotland? We'll no rave about him because he never played in Scotland. Anybody else you can think of?
Two guy.
Good player, but would you say he was world class?
Absolutely. I just didn't get a chance at Rangers. He was a brilliant player.
I know he. I don't doubt he was a really, really top-notch player, but I wouldn't have put him in the same class as Gaza and Loudrop for me, but maybe people would disagree with that. Terry's come up with Giovanni Van Bronckhorst. There's one as well.
It's a fair shot, especially with his accolades in football as well. With obviously him moving on as well. He's been every World Cup final, Champions Leagues.
No, terrific man. I'll give you one out the box that'll not go down well. Henrik Larsson, would he come under that?
I mean, I think it's fair to say he wasn't too bad at football, but I would have. You obviously I would have stuck my neck out and said that no. But I think it's fair to say he wasn't too bad.
We're no bigots on this show, mate. We can appreciate a good footballer, you know.
He can obviously.
I can't. No, I'm a bigot. No comment. No comment on him. He's a rat. Don't like him.
Any other ones?
Albers.
You've got to remember, my generation has seen I've seen 2 European final runs good, but I can't say I've many world class players. I still think Stephen Davis in the category of world class in life. I loved him. I know it's not the fashionable one, but I loved him and still do.
Aye, terrific player for us in Northern Ireland, Stephen Davis. Couldn't take that away? What is it? I can't remember how many caps he's got, but it's the British record anyway.
It's 120 odd, is it, or something like that? Some number like that. A stupid number, isn't it?
Aye. Right, I suppose this is a phone-in show and we better get the phone lines open. If you've got any favourites that you've seen in Scottish football, give us a wee ring and give us your views on it. Well, that would do it. The show started now. I'm having an absolute ball here, isn't I?
You're loving it, mate.
Well, try to do all the things with the computer in the background and talk to you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
And welcome back. So if you'd like to phone in, give us a wee call on great players that you've seen. This is a Thursday night. We're kind of in between maybe a bit early to speak about the Hearts game on Saturday. And we too far away from talking about the game at the weekend. So we're just going to try and get through some football stuff tonight. Another thing that happened, yesterday was, of course, I don't know if any of you seen it, was a clip doing the rounds on Twitter of that comic singer at the Daily Record, Gordon Parks, running down our captain. What did you think of that, J.M.?
If that's the best they've got, we're gonna be all right, aren't we? I was back from my work and that, and you start to see a few things on Twitter and that, and you see the press and that, and you're thinking, oh God, what's he done? You know, they found something on him, or whatever. And you see, when I saw it, I was nothing but embarrassed for them, for the bloke, and whoever produces that show and thinks that's what, you know. We know what we are here. We have a few big hiccups, but that is pathetic for an apparent media outlet like that, isn't it? To let that go out and to use it as well. Not only is it, you know, whatever he was trying to say, it's also a complete utter lie, isn't it? If you listen to the timings, it's got to be a lie.
Aye, without a doubt. Nobody gets from Perth on a match day to the middle of to Ibrox, pick up your car and get into the town in an hour. So it's obviously a bit of a fib, but it was the way he spoke about our captain, as if getting in for a hamburger and is something to be ashamed of. I'm quite sure that most coaches in the world say after a game that you've got to get carbs down you. And quite a lot of players actually eat pizza, hamburgers, etc. They build back in the calories. What do you think, Albert?
I never seen the comments. What is the comments? I never seen any of that.
Okay, he made this comment that they have the right attributes to be a Rangers captain. That was the gist, you know.
That's just nonsense, mate. And that's them panicking, mate. I told you. Look, they've been at this. They're placement men all over the place. All the Rangers haters out there. They've got nothing on us. They've got nothing to say positive about us. But now we're on the ascendancy. Now we're playing good football. Now we're getting top of the tree. We're last 16 of Europe. We're the quarterfinals of the Scottish Cup. And we've already won the League Cup. Now they're coming for all angles. They're picking anything. To say Tavernier's no a good Rangers captain is ridiculous, mate. Tavernier's not my favourite player, but I'm not going to run the guy down. His stats are there to be seen. And one thing he does, he carries himself really well, and he represents the club very, very, very well. He's a decent guy, and I think it's ridiculous that people are attacking him. I've not read it, but I'm going to make a point of going and reading it now.
It's an actual clip. I'll show you after the show, mate.
Right,
you can look for yourself.
But that's how much they're panicking, mate. They're actually trying to drive wedges into us. They're trying to get a split. They're trying to put the club and the captain and our team and the players and the support on a bad light. It's what they do, mate. It's just what they do. They don't like competition. They don't like their favourite team getting any competition. Either side of the city, they don't like competition. They've proved that in the last 12 years. They hammer everybody in Scotland, run about puffing their chests out. They get awarded a title. They get awarded practically a Scottish Cup. They get put to play the next season, and they think they've achieved something. But when they get to Europe, they get fun out, mate. They get slaughtered and battered all over Europe. So I don't take anything they say now, mate. We stick together. Just do what we're doing. One game at a time. Title's coming home.
JM, anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, I mean, the way, as in, like you say, people can have their opinions on him as a player, maybe, but no one can say the way he carries himself isn't worthy of being a captain. As he's always an example on the field. Even people really want to get too riled up sometimes, but he's never overreacting. You never see him shouting at players or panicking and all the stuff off the field that they do. All the players, by the way, but that comes from the example of the captain doing these charity events or whatever. He's no doubt he's worthy of being a Rangers captain the way he conducts himself.
Well, you know how I feel about Tav. He's my favourite player among. I've got a wee question for you, right? This will probably shock some people. Is Tav the best captain we've had since, say, the 1960s? There we go. There's a question for you, Albert.
Oh, that's a big ask, mate. That's a big ask, that one. No, you've got John Gregg in there, remember? You've got... what else have we got? You've got Goff in there, obviously. You've got Butcher in there. You've got you've got all sorts of captains in there. He's in. I would say, let's take it out of is he the top 10 or the top 5? I would take it that. I wouldn't say he's the best. That's a difficult one because I couldn't actually pick the best. Put it that way. But he's definitely in the top 5. Definitely in the top 5, mate.
Underrated by even my own support, JM. For me personally, his record in the bigger stages in football, i.e. Europe, and especially the last 5 years, what we have done in Europe, mate, I don't think there's many Rangers teams in the past can match that.
No, 100%. And like you say, from a captain's point of view, the amount of times the goals he scored, he was the top goal scorer in that year in the Europa League with our run. A captain from right back, 100%, and the constant, just the way, always fit as well, always available. You know, you can count on one hand the amount of games he's missed. Obviously when not originally, but he's played with some average sides as well and always maintaining a team. But even though he was in them average sides, as the team's got better up to 55 and now improving, he's still a mainstay and no manager ever looks to replace him. That's now obviously you've had Warburton who signed him and the others came in, and then Gerrard, a top footballer, kept him in. You know, no one's ever looked to move Tavernier out of the team. So
was it Gerrard that made him captain for the first time?
No.
No, was it after? So when did
Warburton, I think, made him a captain?
It was Wallace with Warburton, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then Wallace had the fallout with Murty, didn't they? At the after the final. So was it Kashinya that actually made him captain?
I don't know. I've got a funny feeling it was Gerrard. If somebody can let us know if we're wrong.
I remember Gerrard saying he's keeping him captain because that was one of the things I thought they were going to change. They were going to change the captaincy, and he just kept. He says, "No, I'm going to keep Tavernier."
Someone needs to let us know. It's normally you in the background letting us know, Fox.
There's another one, Lee Wallace. You got to remember what Lee Wallace did. He actually ruined his career to stay with Rangers.
Weren't a bad wage he picked up though, was it?
It's not about money. It's about what you do. He ruined his international career. He actually could have went to a bigger club down south and earned more money, but he stuck with Rangers. So you've got to give the guy credit for that alone. I mean, that takes a lot. They end up with the way he left was a bit crappy, you know. I mean, that's a bit mincy the way he left, but you've got to give him great respect for sticking with us right down in the lower divisions, mate. He's an international player, and he's playing in the hedges and all that.
My thing's always out for a few of them players to get told, they stayed. A lot of them wouldn't have picked up a better wage than that going anywhere else. 7-8 grand a week at a time in the 3rd division of Scotland.
Well, I've just had it confirmed by text. It was, in fact, Steven Gerrard that made him captain. So, there we go. I mean, we've had marvellous captains. Greg, of course, Terry Butcher, Richard Goff, I mean, these were all players that won things in Scotland, but on the European stage, Rangers teams, apart from 72 with John Gregg, failed badly in Europe. Whereas in the last 5 years, our ratings in Europe have probably rocketed more than they have in the past. What would you think of that?
Yeah, because especially when you hear, especially from us who are, like, if you like, the young team that have to listen to the team's rubbish, and then you hear some of the teams that pass the names of the stars and whatnot, and these players that have never lost a game. When you can, like you say, when you compare their records in Europe, there's actually not many comparisons. Even the McLeish team that went in that Champions League that wasn't the best Rangers team, was it? By a mile. That one that got to the last 16 against Villarreal. That wasn't the best Rangers team on paper. Hello? Is he doing it again?
I don't know. I is. He's on mute.
I've got to sort some things in the background, you know.
Hey, your camera on and everything.
Now he's giving us a show.
Aye.
Yeah. You're right. I mean, it's subjective, isn't it? It's one of the things that you look at. It depends what you want a captain to be. There's pros for Taft to say, he's European stuff, he's top goal scorer in the UEFA Cup. All that's achievements, personal achievements for him, and it was fantastic. But there's other things you need to take into account as well. I mean, it's I'm not saying he's no. I'd say I wouldn't go overboard and say he's the best captain we've ever had. I wouldn't go like that, because you've got things against him as well. How many cup finals he won? How many has he lost? All this comes into it. If you want to do that,
right. I'll stop you there.
You poked the bear, old bear.
I've got myself down here 5 things, right, to judge a captain on, right? Longevity. What would you give him out of 10 for that? 9 years at the club.
Yeah, it's a 10, isn't it? Never injured. A little, the odd time injured, but always there. Oh, that's a 10, isn't it?
Yourself, Albert?
Compare. What do you mean? Is it we just getting it because he's 9 years he gets a 10, or is he compared to other captains that have been there? John Gregg, for example, 20 years or something, 30 years all his life. So does he no count? Does that no count? No.
Well, I
would. So what we're doing is that does Greg get a 10 and he get a 10? So you've got. I don't know what the scale. What's the scale we're
working? Right. Say Greg was a 10, but
right. So I'd give Tav probably a 7 then, a 7 or an 8.
Right. Value for money when we got them.
10.
Would you say a 10, James?
I would say so. What was that? A couple $100,000 or something for the pair of them at the time? Or so? Yeah, 100%.
Right. Value for money. Statistics.
Okay, yeah, there's no point. That's 10, isn't it? We know that's got to be 10.
Yeah, I've got a feeling this is heavily weighted in your man's favour, Fox.
No.
What next penalty's taken?
No. Statistics, he's well beaten and for captain thing. Richard Gough, mate, would trounce him on that, you know.
Yeah.
Leadership.
I'll give it a 7 for that for me, mate.
What do you judge that on?
Influencing a referee, influencing the game, and as much as he scores a lot of goals and he does pull out a hole at times, but it's not all the time. But he's influencing the game as to go and win games that you shouldn't be winning, but we're actually winning. And getting other players to come out their shell, get coaxing other players onto games and things like that. But the one big thing is standing up for the team, really getting in referees' faces and other players' faces and sticking up for the team. I don't think he's the best at that.
Okay, your point on that, JM?
Yeah, I'll just 7 or a 7 to an 8. I get Olbert's point on that, and I'd agree. Maybe you're looking at being a bit cuter or streetwise with the referees and that. I might think you've seen it a bit more recently, to be honest, a little bit, but he's not. It wasn't natural to him like other captains or that. But I also think if you're comparing it different generations, I think the shouting and bawling sort of footballers are starting to go now a little bit, aren't they? Maybe we're looking for the old school, but maybe like a Ferguson or others that, would just scream at players if they weren't doing what they were supposed to do. But yeah, I think 7 to an 8 for that. 7.5.
7.5. Of course, what people mostly pick up on him is trophies, mate. Doesn't he compare to previous captains on trophies? As I've mentioned, as Richard Gough trounces anybody, I think, as a captain. So I would get it for trophies. I think it's going to be kind of lower than say 6. But is leading the club to a European final do more than that?
Well, it's there. He's done it. It's you've got to give him something. I would give him maybe 8 for that. I give him an 8 for
that. Okay, well.
I'd go the lower, but I'd say 6 or 7. I think you've got to be in regards to the trophies. It's not as many, especially that 55 season. We left 2 there, didn't we? That was ours for the taking, all 3. And there was one, but I think you've got to also be fair to him that he's been in some bang average teams that weren't ready to compete, whereas some of his captains were in ready-made teams that were at the level. Taz been playing in a team that's been trying to catch up for a lot of years.
I'd say calibre player. Gough and Greg played with better calibre players than the Tav's played with. I'll give him that. I'll definitely give him that. He's not played with the best, where these other players have had. We've all spoken about it before. Some world-class players playing beside some world-class players. Tab's never had that. He's never had any world-class players playing alongside him. So I'll cut him a bit of slack for that. But you've still got to take into account the amount of trophies. You can say he's no one, but the amount of, I'd take it the other way. I'd take cut him the black and be totally fair. Just think of the finals we've been in no one.
Yeah, on average, you should be, even if you're not the favourite, you should be picking up a couple of more trophies, shouldn't you, with the amount we're winning?
Aye, something like that, mate. I'm trying to be fair to him. I'm not trying to write him off because it's no fair. Gough would win it hands down when it just came to trophy. Oh, Greg would probably trounce him and all. It's so you're trying. I'm trying to be fair to him, mate. That's why.
It's
top 5, mate. Top 5. He's the all-time best captain. That's stretching it a bit.
Aye, I know it's kind of close in some of the things. People just say, oh, that's just that daft old fox because he likes Tav. But when you have a serious look at his career, mate, I mean, John Gregg, I think, is a bit equal with Tav. But maybe one more title than Tav. I mean, John Gregg had a barren time for about 60-70, we won the European Cup, Cup Winners' Cup, mate. We never won a league or anything in that time. Maybe a Scottish Cup, I think we won, and that would be our whack, But he's regarded as our greatest ever Ranger.
But at that time, he's anointed that. But again, you see these accolades that players are getting. It's who's the best player, Maradona, Ronaldo, Pele. You can't really say it. It's only when you, like JM saying, he's not seen all the players that we have seen and all the captains we have seen. So he only can take it for what he's seen, and he's been fair. He's telling you that, and I'll take it for what I've seen. And Tab's up there, if not the best he's seen. That's fair enough for his point of view, but for your points of view, no, you can't. We can't really put, and we can't be left just. Us, all the old ones left with a vote to say we're only the ones that's allowed to vote because we've seen everybody. That's no fair either. So you sit and say to yourself, being an older Rangers supporter, all you're trying to do is weigh up as best that you can in your mind. And no, I can't put him as the best. I'm sorry, but I can't. But I'm not going to put him as the worst either. But I'm going to be controversial here. My all-time best captain, but I have to pick one. And I don't like to pick one, but I've had to pick one. Would be Wallace, Lee Wallace.
Lee Wallace.
Lee
Wallace for what reason, mate? What was Lee Wallace?
He showed a true captaincy, mate. He stuck with us. I don't care. Money doesn't come in here. That's nonsense. No money. It's just the guy stuck with us right down at the bottom of the Scottish football, and he stuck with us right up all the way back up. and he could have walked away any time. But you got to remember, the guy's in the prime of his career here. He's not at the back end of his career. He's at the prime of his career here, and he stuck with us. And that's some going, by the way. Okay, he got a wage. I'm not saying he didn't get a wage. He's a professional football player. He plays for money. But he could have still walked away and played for more money. He could have. He was a class fullback, remember.
My first memory of...
And he scored a lot of goals as well, by the way.
My first memory of Lee Wallace is him in the first pre-season he came, was getting us knocked out of Europe twice in the summer. On that first season, he had an absolute shocker, didn't he?
You're probably right, mate.
He had an absolute shocker. Right. I can't remember which, because Malmo was something they'd done, isn't it? I remember one time they took a quick throw and he actually threw the ball to their right. We're going to take the throw in. That's my memory of it. But so you're going Lee Wallace. I was going to ask because of you two, because obviously Tavernier's maybe on most. But what about David Weir? I know it was short, but he won some in the time when he came in the Smiths on, and the amount he won in a short space of time with an average team.
Another great captain as well. I mean, we've had some terrific captains. Don't get me wrong. I was just looking mostly at what we've done in Europe because it's a bigger stage in Scottish football, you know.
Well, if it comes to Europe, and if you just take it in isolation, Europe alone, Tad's got to be up there. He's definitely got to be up there because his record in that alone would say he's probably up there as the best captain that's been at Rangers on a European stage. Definitely, no problem. But if you're adding everything in, well, there's a lot of ifs and buts and maybes all around about that, isn't it? But if you put it in isolation, European stuff, Tad's your man.
Right. So we'll have another go at these phone lines here, see if anybody would like to come in and join in either talking about Brian Laudrup or we debate here on Tav.
Anything they want. We can talk about anything.
Anything they want.
Just not Henrik Larsson.
Okay. We could talk about incontinence, but that'll be a load of shit. Oh, sorry. Right, here we go.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
And anything you two boys would like to bring up? James? Jim?
Go ahead. There we go. I'm just interested if you got, because obviously there's quite an important round of fixtures taking place for us at the moment, isn't there? If you like, the playoff round in the Europa League. I believe the draws for that tomorrow, isn't it?
Mate.
I believe the draws out. Just obviously the teams we can avoid. Just I don't know if you've had a chance to look at the fixtures or who's playing, or is there anyone you particularly fear or want to avoid, or anyone you fancy a decent tie? Would you rather?
Me personally, I'd take anybody. Apart from what was the one that was saying it was a long journey? We don't want a long journey.
Carabag.
They're through. So
yeah, they got through, didn't they? They done Braga 6-5
in aggregate after extra time. So they're through. I don't see a problem with any of them. AC Milan, they're all good teams. Let's be honest. They're all no getting to this stage and no be good teams. We call ourselves a decent team in Europe, so we can't call ourselves a decent team and no call the rest of these teams decent teams for getting to the exact same place we're sitting at. So I don't know anybody.
Yeah, no, looks like Sporting Lisbon are getting through as well. They're 4-1 up now on aggregate, so no return to Ibrox for Cedric Itten either, even though he seems to be banging in the goals up. Like a little bit over.
For the travelling support, who would you think would be their favourite? Would think it'd be AC Milan, a tough tie against AC Milan, or what?
I don't. Do you see the way the Newcastle fans got treated over there? You want to stay away from that, don't you? I'm trying to. We always seem to do all right when we go to Portugal, don't we? Give us any of the Portuguese. Well, even though Braga are gone now, but give us Sporting. Good memories of sport. Good memories of sport in Lisbon. Weren't that the quarterfinals?
I think they're doing particularly well this season, Sporting. I think they're on a good run. I think they've got the top striker in Europe at the moment. I think Sporting Lisbon. So maybe it'll be a great choice that if we want to go further in the competition, you know.
Yeah, true.
But the Shakhtar Donetsk, they're still in it now. They're the three each. They're three each at the moment in aggregate. So that's another. That's another.
Well, I heard Southside saying that would be like a home game for us in Hamburg. So I think that would be a good tie for us to do.
Aye. So
Are you looking forward to? I think the draw's at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, isn't it?
Yeah, it's exciting. I'm sure the whole of Scotland will be watching as well of interest. The only team in Europe, but I'm sure they'll all be happy for us.
Oh, they'll all be shouting on and egging us on and supporting us, I'm sure. I don't even think the SFA will be supporting us, mate, let alone other supporters. But it's exciting times, isn't it? It's good. We're still in it. We're getting into the draw. I'm looking forward to this, mate. I really am looking forward to the rest of this season. It's just bubbling along nicely for me, mate. Bubbling along nicely.
Well, it's going to be rapid games going forward. The only thing that worries me about the Europa tie is travelling, mate. If we get like a Carabag where we come back and I think we've got Hibs away straight after it, you know. It's going to be tough. I know we've done it before where we came back for Europe and one game tough ties. I think we beat Celtic, didn't we?
We came
back to one.
Was that the semi-final one after the extra time? We went to extra time, didn't we?
Yeah.
Them in the semi-final, and it was extra time again, wasn't it? No, yeah, it was one at the own goal. Arfield scored, and then the own goal / Sakala goal. But we were fit as anything that season, weren't we? I believe the team's as fit again, by the way. But obviously the record isn't great for the two big European runs we've had. We've never won the league with them, have we? So maybe it does take its toll, even though at the time it's incredible when you're on the run, isn't it?
Yeah.
I agree. I think we play better when we do I know we don't like it, and I don't particularly like it, but I think the team performs better when we do the 3 games a week type thing or 3 games, 8 days type thing, because the fitness levels seem to stay up. It's this big week apart stuff that I think that we struggle, especially the early parts of a game. We seem to struggle in the first 20 minutes of a game to get back up to speed. It's just, I think we've been doing it that long now. We're just used to it. I know this team might not be doing it that long. They're used to it, but there's a lot of players in there. I have been doing it a few years now, mate. So they're used to doing the three games, the Thursday, Sunday, Thursday carry on.
Footballers surely enjoy it more as well, playing rather than that. You'd think, wouldn't you? Well, some will, some won't. But I'd like to think the footballers would prefer it just to be constantly playing matches and recovering if they're staying fit.
Absolutely. It's the ones that are not playing that will not be happy. No, I mean, because they all can't play.
yeah. The ones that are just travelling around.
I'm fed up with this. I'm got a travelling rug here. I want a player of football boots to play. I don't want a travelling rug. But they're all going to be needed, aren't they, JM? They're going to be needed, a whole lot of them, in all these competitions.
At least with this manager, it looks like they will all get a shot. If that's how it's meant to be in professional, they'll all get a go. But at least they look like they'll all get a go.
Absolutely, man. And he's good for that. Sorry, mate. Carry on.
Well, you're talking about fitness. We've had a few, what would you say, surprises in our first team starts as the manager has prepared the squad to be able to handle the run-in. He's managed to get some of the players that were injured back up to speed. They're gradually coming back into the side now. And he's planned this all for, I would say, about a month, knowing that when it comes to the business end of the season, he's going to have a lot of fully fit and players willing and trying to get into the side. And I think it's going to be important for the run-in for me.
Definitely, mate. Definitely. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a plan, because the guy definitely knows what he's doing, as we keep on saying. He definitely knows what he's doing, and he's going to need all the players, and he knows he's going to need all the players. But it's I think a lot of it's down to he's rotating the players, but he's also it's horses for courses. I think he's picking players for particular games as well. So he's doing that. He knows exactly. I mean, some of the selections he's done, and it's not mad selections, but some of the selections he's done, you're scratching your head. Well, I don't understand this. What's happening here? But it works, and that's what matters. As long as whatever he does and whatever he picks works, that'll do for me, mate. I'm not going to second guess him.
Can I just say to everybody that is listening who has phoned up in the last few minutes that you need to hang on and talk to the reception or Terry before you can get through and onto the show. As soon as it's the call switches from one switchboard to the other to go to Terry, it takes a couple of seconds. So if you can be a wee bit more patient, please, and just hold on, and your phone call will be answered. What do you think of Clement's planning, Paul Bear? I mean, Gerard, for me, was very good at planning ahead, but I think Clement is now taking it to a different level. I think he plans weeks and weeks in advance when he picks his squads for certain games to make sure he's got the right players that he thinks will take on the opposition on that day.
I mean, he can afford it, as he's saying. He's telling everybody else to focus game by game, but he's the planner. So he's got to look ahead, mate, and do these plans. I agree with you, mate. It's just he knows what he's doing. It's just as simple as that. I mean, Beale was there. You well knew that he didn't know what he was doing. It was just off the cuff stuff, and he's talking absolute garbage, man. Especially his pre-season training camps, and it's just nonsense. It's just gibber nonsense. I want to make them tired. I want to start them tired. Nonsense like that. You're getting it. Well, that's a sure way to get your players injured, isn't it? They're going out there tired before they actually start the game. That's a clever idea. But then Clement later on in his wee camp there at Spain said that he was trying to do the same thing. I'm saying, what's happening? I don't understand what's happening with it. But with Clement, it worked. We feel it did not work because he was expecting the players to come back to the Kilmarnock game after that midweek game with Olympiacos, who just ran over the top of us, and spring back for that game and play well against Kilmarnock, which completely fell flat in its face. But Clement, it works with Clement because we come back after the Spanish and we've not lost a game. 100% record. So I don't know. Scratch your head. I can't even work that out. But you can definitely see Clement has the plan, and his track record proves that his plans work. Whereas Beale has no track record, and they were never going. It was just a guess with him. He didn't know. It was just a pure guess. Whereas Clement has a track record, mate. That's the way I see it. And he definitely, I agree with you, he's definitely got a plan, mate. And every game he plays, every single game, and it's well in advance. I bet he's got a plan for the summer as well. Who he's bringing in, who's going. He's got it taped, mate. He knows exactly what he's doing.
JM?
Yeah, he's got the plan. And also it looks like, and more importantly, that the players believe in it. I don't know if it's more or less information. Maybe they've been told to just go out and play. There's your formation. Go out and play with a bit of freedom, because whatever it is, the players just look to have a spring in their step now, which they didn't have before, as if whatever they were being told by the previous manager, they just didn't believe what it was. Whereas it looks like from everything from their fitness to their recovery and the tactics, that the players believe it now. Because I tell you one thing, it don't look like the same two sets of players, and the majority of time on the pitch it is. So something's drastically changed behind the scenes.
The show received some sad news today that Big Robbie Ferguson, a character and a friend of the show and a truly great bear, has sadly passed away. Duke Street will never be the same. Rest in peace, Robbie. Our condolences go out to Robbie's family. I just thought I'd bring that up, boys, there.
Condolences to his family, mate. Condolences.
Yep, my condolences.
It's sad to hear. Sad to hear. Sorry, mate, you going to say something?
Aye, we're on about Clement and his forward passing, forward planning. I looked at a thing today, mate. We have actually got 2 first teams, and I would like to know what you would think if they played against each other. Name your starting 11 just now, and I'll name a a side that we could possibly play against each other in training.
Go on, GM. You go and you start.
Well, you're giving me the goalkeeper. I'll take Jack Butler.
You could. No, we'll pick a team between us.
Oh, we'll so we're going Butland, Tavernier, Goldson, and then who do you want next to him?
Balogun.
Balogun, fine. All right, you take Balogun, then I'm going to pick Ridvan as my left back.
Yep. Midfield.
Yep. So first sitter, we're going to have John Lundstrom as the first man in there.
Yep, do that. Lundstrom.
Yeah, go on then. Who do you want in front of him in the middle? Who do you want across that midfield?
Lawrence.
Yep, Lawrence.
Cantwell.
Yep. And then I'm going to have at the moment still. Oh, you've took to your man. Yeah, fair. I'm going to have Matondo on the left at the moment for me.
I'll have McCausland on the right, and you can pick the centre forward.
We're going back to Tuesday night. All right. Let's have Big Cyril. I'm having Big Cyril up there.
There you go. We'll
right,
take you
so
on.
you had the goalkeeper, Jack Butland.
Yeah.
And that gives me a choice between McLaughlin and Robbie McCrory, but I'll go for young Robbie. Right?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
At right back, I'm going to go young Adam Devine, who's out on loan just now.
Yep.
Okay. Who did you have at centre half?
Ghost and Balogun. So that leaves you Suter
and Davis and Barisic at left back.
Yep.
Midfield.
We had
Lundstrom and Lawrence as the two.
Yep.
I would go with Sterling.
Yep.
And Ryan Jack. There you go. That's my two in the middle.
And then
your three, taking consideration we're doing a 4-2-3-1, which your three?
We had McCausland on the right, Campbell and Matondo.
I need to start to think here. Well, I'll go for Cortez. Cortez. Who did you have? Cortez,
Campbell and Matondo.
You can have Diomande if you want.
Aye, that's a good pick. Diomande for me. And left wing.
You can have Dowell and all.
Well, you can also have, as I saw in the training gear, you can also have Seamer. We can pretend he's fit.
Right. Well, I'll take Seamer, and I'll go for the last but least Silver. I mean, that shows you how much. That shows you. I know that shows you how far we've progressed under this manager, mate. You know what? We have got a fit two sides that could probably beat the B team. Could probably beat most in the Premier League. Would you agree with that, J.M.?
Yeah, I 100% would. We haven't seen a lot of maybe the young guy in Devine. You've even got Leon King in there that could cover that role, or a centre-back role, or even the holder midfield role. But you're right, especially with midfielders, you forgot obviously Nico Raskin still in there as well, and he's fit, ready to play.
Ruth,
if he came back, Danilo, if he gets fit, he was looking good if he can recover. There's plenty of options there. Even
Haji, Cifuentes, Lammers.
You got them guys on loan, and then I think even GB was saying on Tuesday night, you forget Dow done a turn from us when the manager came in for that run of games.
Lowry, lovely.
So if he was to do that, so there's plenty of players, and it's scary. The fact is, the manager's going to look to improve that as well. So where's that going to leave us?
Well, that's how good the future looks under this manager, mate. I mean, we will lose us through natural wastage here coming into the summer.
Nobody, and we also forgot Scott Wright.
No, we didn't.
Well, I didn't think we did forget Scott Wright, to be honest.
We didn't forget him. No, we didn't. But you've got players out of contract as well, mate. You've got 6 players out of contract, so that's the natural wastage you're talking. It's no actual natural wastage, but it's wastage that we're leaving, and that's the end to it.
If we get a better bench the name across the city.
Okay. I think the overall squad is better than man for man, honestly, mate.
I think they pick randomers off the street sometimes and you see the names on their bench. I ain't got a clue half them players are.
Well, you know what they say about things that's made in Japan, mate. They work all right at first, but they usually fall apart after a short while, you know.
No comment. Her watches for Japan, so no, I'm not going to knock that.
Anyway, things are looking well for the future, and I think this season, if we get the usual decent bit of luck, we are reasonably refereed, that this can be a really successful season for us, mate.
Well, if we're refereed fairly, it's not happened so far in the last 12 years, but so far. So let's hope we do. Let's hope we do. Just fairness, mate. That's all I'm looking for. Just fairness.
We keep playing how we're playing, but we keep playing how we're playing at the moment. The referees won't be even able to affect the game. We're playing that well at the moment. I mean, the teams aren't even getting shots on target. They can't score many goals.
I mean, we don't really want to keep going on about referees. We're no them across the city, mate, who absolutely have to be victims out of everything that goes wrong in Scottish football. Referees get it. Everybody gets it, you know. We're more refined. We're more refined as a supporter, you know.
I agree with that, mate. But what they've done, the pressure they've put on is effective. You can't say it hasn't. It's worked for them because referees they're terrified to get a decision against them. And it's not just that they're angry, and it's all over, mate. And you watch it time and time and time again. Professional fouls. They get away with more professional fouls than any other team in the league. In fact, they probably get maybe professional fouls than all the other teams added together. So it works. That's my only point about referees. If it takes us to put pressure on them, well, it has to be like that. Now, if the referees show a bit of backbone and do their job properly and fairly, it's only fairly you're looking for now. You're not looking for favours. Then we don't bother with it. We say, I agree with your point 100%. But they've got away with it for years, mate. There's no getting away for that. And it's worked for them. It's definitely worked. And if you watch that, Southside told me to watch that Dallas. I don't know if you've watched it, the Dallas interview.
What, JR?
JR?
Aye. JR, I used to watch Dallas in the 80s, mate. I thought it was terrific.
Oh, JR, right. I go, yeah, right. You're turning into Fox, you. Fox. I'm getting all mixed up, right? But in that, he's talking about he didn't get decisions because of the crowd would have went mental and things like that. And it's actually telling you that they were actually influenced by the crowds and they're doing things to appease the crowd. So if that's the case, which we all know it is the case, well, you've got to say you've got to put pressure on the referee. So they're bringing it on themselves. It's not so much that we're picking to do it, we're wanting to do it. You've just got to do it. Because if other teams are doing it and you're not doing it, so you're getting decisions. And we've watched it for 12 years now. Crazy decisions going against us. Referees to a different standard. It's nuts, mate. It's absolutely nuts. And I don't agree with bullying referees. I don't agree with intimidating them or causing hassle in their private lives. I don't agree with that at all. But that's what's happening in Scottish football. We all know it is. That's my only point, mate. Sorry.
Anyway, we've came to that time of the night where we have a little tune, so if you don't mind going on mute.
As we go marching down the Paisley Road, the west, the doors and the windows open wide, you will hear the people cheer, the Glasgow Rangers boys are here. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. Blue is the colour, football is the game. We're all together, Glasgow Rangers is our name. For we are the best team in all Scotland, and Glasgow Rangers is our name. So bring on the Celtic, your Hibs and Aberdeen, your Dundee United, we're the best you've ever seen. We play hand on heart, God save the Queen, It's Glasgow Rangers for me. As we go marching down the Paisley Road West, the doors and the windows open wide, you will hear the people cheer, the Glasgow Rangers boys are here. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. Blue is the colour, football is the game. We're all together, Glasgow Rangers is our name. For we are the best team in all Scotland, and Glasgow Rangers is our name. So bring on the Celtic, your Hibs and Aberdeen, your Dundee United, we're the best you've ever seen. We play hand on heart, God save the Queen. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. It's Glasgow Rangers for me.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
And welcome back. Well, seem we've not had a lot of callers. We'll need to find something else to talk about, lads. It was nice to see the wee pictures today of Danilo back in the gym and his long trek back from injury. What's your thoughts on Danilo's game?
I thought obviously got a bad bit of luck. He got a first. You got to remember that's the first injury was a bad enough injury. Scored a good goal, good header, and got a bad one on the side of the face, and then seemed to have worked hard to recover from that. To be fair, and came back and scored a couple of good goals. Looked good, but also for being honest, still don't look the complete article. You know, Dessa's got a lot of stick for the chances missed, but where was it? Away at Dundee, wasn't it? Where I reckon he could have had about 7 or 8 goals. But he scored some good goals for us, some important goals for us. Not the 90th minute winner against Hearts. So I'm looking forward to see if we can get him fit for at least half a season, straight a season, just to see how helpful he can be. But no, looks a good player.
You on mute?
Bear, sorry, pal.
Oh,
It's murder day and all this. You have no idea what a daft old guy at my age of 73 has got today here to keep this going. Carry on.
You're doing a fine job, mate. A fine job. Aye, Danilo did good enough wee player, but James right. I mean, he misses a lot of chances, just like Dessers misses a lot of chances. But he's also proved that he can put the ball in the net at times. I mean, he's done that, and he's done important goals as well, which is a nice thing. And it's nice to see the boy back. It's whether he's going to make an appearance this season. I think even Clement's doubtful on that. But did I hear you earlier on, Jay? I'm saying that Big Seamer's back in training as well.
Well, he was out. I saw the RFC charity day where a lot of people got to go meet the players and that with illnesses and whatever, and he was there in the training kit. Now, how far advanced? Well, he might have even just done that for the photos, but you don't know. Hopefully, find out a bit more. But he was in the gear at the training centre taking photos of everyone, so hopefully, it's a sign that it might be sooner rather than later.
No, I hope that's. Sorry, mate. Go for it.
No, I knew you go, mate.
That's just a good sign that that might be the players starting to come back now and starting to. I mean, that's why the reason might have not went for another striker. He might have seen that these players will be back, and I don't want an abundance of strikers all sitting there because the board are going to ask them a question, aren't they? You've signed another striker, you've now got umpteen 4, 5, 6 strikers sitting there. What's your game? What are you up to? Because you've got to remember we've got limited resources as well. We've not got a limitless pot of money. So we've got to be wise and careful and clever with what we do with this, what we've got. And I think Matt the Clement's the man to do that. So if these players are back in training and there's any chance of whatsoever of getting game time before the end of the season, then that makes more sense what he done at the summer transfer window.
I think it's positive as well that he's actually around the training ground and whatever, even if he's not. Because obviously he's only a lone player, but it shows he obviously likes the place, if that means anything. I know it's a long time away, a lot of stuff to be done, but for the summer, it shows that he likes being around the club. You know, a lone player could easily just go back.
Yep.
Take down, but I like the fact that he's still hanging around and obviously shows he's keen for us.
I think if we win the league, when we win the league, I think we win the league and make the Champions League, which we will do. I think we'll put a bid in for him.
Much do you reckon on him, mate?
7-8 million, mate. But I think it'll be over a 2 or 3 year period. I don't think it's going to be a one big chunk. And he'd be hoping to double that money in the next 2 years.
It's just
him getting injured might have lowered his price a bit for us because he was scoring goals for fun, wasn't he? And every time he scored, it was great for us. But I was thinking, this is going to make him untouchable for us.
It's kind of took him out the limelight, innit? Away from prying eyes. It's been a serious blow to us, right enough. He was scoring regular for us. And after it's talking about the two teams there that we could put together, it is sad that the biggest injuries we've got up to our striking positions, isn't it?
It happens every year. It happens to see what you pick. When we get injuries, the serious ones just happen all at the one position, like the centre halves, the centre forwards, the midfielders. It happens in gluts, you know what I mean? We made the UEFA Cup without any strikers that year as well. Then the Champions League, we never had any centre halves. So it just seems to hit us that way. It's just it's not like, one of your fullbacks is injured long term, one of your centre forwards and one of your midfielders. It's all your centre forwards or all your fullbacks or all your centre halves are injured. It's mad. It's mad. But it seems to be slowing down a bit anyway. At least we've only got 4 in the treatment table now.
I think
the problem used to be 34.
Well, the quickest it's due back looks like being Ruth, who's training with the B team at the present time. It'd be a real big bonus if we could get him back and fit, eh?
That's massive, isn't it? If you get him back, he's a goal scorer. But I think, like Olbell was saying, with us always having a striker injury, I think that's been half our problem, isn't it? Every manager has had the same thing that's been with us. If I can get him fit, I don't need another striker because he's the best goal scorer in the league if I can get him fit. And unfortunately, he's just never been fit for a sustained period of time, has he? Still scored some very important goals for us and whatnot, but just never been able to get him.
There's a question for the two of you. How many trophies and how do you think we would have won with Ruth been fit for the full 4 years he's been here?
I think we would have won the biggest one, which would have been the cup. UEFA Cup, mate. I think if he'd have been playing in that game, we'd have won that.
I think so too, mate. I think we'd have won 2 more leagues as well.
We would have definitely have won. We would definitely have won a lot more with him because he's 20 goals minimum, and that's minimum, isn't it? Let's be honest, probably more, but he's definitely 20 goals minimum, 25 to 30 probably if he's playing all season. And we didn't have that from a striker.
That's how important he is to us, and we just unfortunately couldn't get him fit. Unfortunately, but near could any other team he's ever played for, so it's not just us. That's no one of this one the bad medical team at Ibrox. That's no that one. That's part. He's got history, but there is a problem with the medical team at Ibrox. Not so much now, right enough. We're starting to get them back, and you can see the ones that are on the table now are genuine ones. They're there. You can see the injuries, facial injuries, muscle rips and things like that. You're saying, well, fair enough. That happens, but I still like to see them back quicker. I mean, Salah. He took a bad one in the Africans Cup, and he's back playing.
As we were saying earlier on, there, Seamer was probably this season the biggest miss out of them all for me. You know, although Roof as a striker, top class when he can play.
He's still the best striker at the club, mate. No doubt about it. He is the best striker at the club. I'm not going to say if he's
and his time there, would Defoe no outstrip him, mate?
Maybe, mate. because that season, I mean, that's everybody forgets that's why we won the league. It was Defoe and Roof up front scoring the goal. Alfie was there and all, obviously, but Roof and Defoe up front, and we had McGregor in the goal. That's the reason we're in the league. Let's not kid ourselves on here. It's three class players, real class players, and I loved Defoe. I mean, I thought it just brilliant centre forward. The goal he scored against Livingston. The goal he scored. I mean, that to me, that's the best goal I've ever seen at Ibrox. That was just sheer and utter class, mate. In my opinion.
I don't doubt it. The ball for Tav was just as good, mate. But it was just a nonchalant way he just tapped it into the net. It was absolutely tremendous.
Just on one movement.
And of course, Roof cannot equal that, mate, with a goal for the halfway line in Europe. That was another sensational goal, was it not?
You remember that we scored that? He scored that goal in the whole of Scotland. We're rushing to tell us it wasn't the longest goal ever scored in that competition. They couldn't wait to get it out there. And no, it's. You never celebrate a Scottish team doing saying something brilliant in Europe, and that was brilliant, mate. That was a brilliant goal. But that's it. You're right. That's what that boy's capable of. You can pull goals out of anywhere.
JM, do we get the credit that we're due for the press or the media in Scotland for the work we've done in Europe in the last few years?
Not even a 1% of the credit we deserve. They'll never give us it, will they? They don't want to give us it. They got every year you see it about, all the teams that are in Europe when it, the third and fourth and the fifth get the Conference League and whatever. They never tell you the reason why they're in there. They weren't in there when we were down in the leagues, when they were getting pumped every week in Europe. They're only there now because we were doing well. And they never once... You see the odd article or whatever that says, due to the coefficient or whatever, but they're never going to put it in black and white why the Scottish clubs get to do in Europe. So no, we don't, and we will never get it.
It'd just be nice every now and again to get a wee bit of credit, but there you go. It's never going to happen, is it? It's just the way the narrative is in this country now. I don't know. I don't see it changing anytime soon.
It's just a shame with the timing we couldn't get our own rewards for it, of the automatic Champions League spot. But we will this year. But, that's the only thing that makes it a bit bittersweet that other teams got the profit from it more than we did.
Well, the fat Australian, you get that first league. You should never win that first league. We threw that away. We just threw that away. That was our league to win, and we threw it away. He gets the credit for winning it. There's Clement doing something similar to what he's done. No credit whatsoever.
Clement never got a league stopped so he could sign players and then players at a different time. When we were winning every game. But, let's give that big fat man some credit, shall we? He got the league stopped.
I know. It's hard to believe when you look back and people forget all these things that happen. But it's true. It's absolutely... One day somebody's going to look back that 12-year period to find out the stuff that was going on. It's nuts, mate. If Hollywood had wrote a script like that, you'd have went, come on, get real. That could never happen. But it did.
He had won every game, Gio, hadn't he? He was strolling it and whatever. And then a couple of players have got COVID. We better shut the whole league down for a few weeks. Let them get in a transfer window.
To we get this sorted out. But you're there, Fox. Are you back on mute?
Should we get Fox off mute now?
Aye, he's off.
I'm listening. I'm actually listening. I'm listening to you two and enjoying your wee chat there, mate. I'm back to where I normally am.
And your comfort zone there, mate.
As we're saying, Europe's been good for us in the last 5 years, and hope to God I'll be there at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, praying that we get a decent draw, mate.
And it's helped us sign, but it's going to help us and help us sign some players, because I think if we can carry on in Europe, do you think our goalkeeper's going to get into that squad? They keep talking about it.
On you go, Albert.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice. He deserves it. The guy deserves it. There's not. I mean, okay, Pickford might be the number one. I don't think he'll take Pickford's. I don't particularly like Pickford to be
Me
honest.
neither. Me neither.
I think he's too showy. I just think he's too showy, and he just wants to be involved in the game when he doesn't really need to be involved with the game. So he makes simple things look more difficult than they actually are, and then he's prone to the odd howler now and again being out of position because he's carry on. But I don't think Butland will take his position. But he's definitely up for a shout for one of the other ones. We don't see anybody out with Butland that's going to hold him away and keep him out of the squad. Again, it might just be location where you're playing. You know, like they don't particularly like to pick people that are playing in Scotland for the national team.
But that's why Europe's so important. If we can get another couple of rounds here, and Jack, it plays very well in Europe, mate, that's what could draw attention. And obviously they're going to see that on the telly, and he'll get good coverage. And I think that's Jack's best chance of getting into the England team. JM?
Yeah, I was speaking about it with a mate the other day, and we're thinking if we can go at least one more round, get in there, and if we're going to do that, he's probably going to have to make a couple of saves, and that's when everyone's watching and talking, and that'll maybe just raise the profile slightly. You shouldn't think it should need to be professional football with people, because you'd like to think these people are watching, but even your Southgates and that need to be able to justify their decisions, don't they? So I think if we can do a couple more rounds, and if we keep going up, we're going in the league with the clean sheets, they'll have no option but to take him, because they haven't got that much at the moment anyways, with the goalie injured, with that Pope injured and different things anyways.
All round, he's got a great game for a goalkeeper, Jack Butland, but I'm a wee bit put after he doesn't score enough goals for his mate, I think he should be up there at the corner kicks, because the Goldson and that can't go in the end. I'm quite sure Jack Butland could go up there and header a few, and
Absolutely, mate. Maybe that'll hold him out to the England team because he's no score. But seriously, he does deserve to be in it. I mean, I think he is. I'm biased, honestly. Obviously, I'm a Rangers supporter with the blue tinted glasses on, but the guy's a superb goalkeeper. He's good calming influence. He's a good organiser of his defence. Excellent. He'll pluck a ball out there when he's needed. He'll punch the ball out there if he's needed. He's low. His shot stopping is excellent. He's not too bad with his feet. He's above average with his feet anyway. You know what I mean? And I think he's a good goalkeeper, a really good goalkeeper. But England, like they're down there. You play in Scotland. It's easy up here. Their so-called internationals come up and tell them different. It's not that easy. Mike Pateley's already told them. Trevor Stevens has already told them. Gary Stevens already told them. Wilkins already told them. It's not that easy. Don't value that league up there. How difficult it is. It's really difficult. But there you go. It never gets. But again, as you pointed out, it's only in Europe. You're only ever going to get recognised if you do it in Europe. And Rangers have been doing it in Europe. That's why their name is now sort of growing and growing and growing again.
It's a position that we've been really fortunate to have picked good goalkeepers over the years, JMA. We've had some terrific keepers.
Yeah, ever since I've been able to watch games live and that, there's only been one that's really been a flop. That what was that French one, Letizi? Was that his name?
Yeah.
That was. He was throwing the balls into his own net, but apart from that, obviously Clausen and McGregor,
Chris Wood,
yeah, Butler, thing me for me now, Fox, but yeah, no, and then good, just amazing, all world class in their own right. We've been lucky.
I see
that trumpet we got for Motherwell. He was garbage. Who was that? Was that Bell or whatever he was?
Oh, he was bad, wasn't he? He did throw one in his own goal, didn't he? And what about the one? What about the worst I've seen? McCoy's thought was better than Craig Gordon. Was it Simonson, the drink driver?
Aye. Well, he was better. He was better than him.
yeah.
I think all our players are better than him, mate.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
And I see the goalkeeper across the city is retiring at the end of the season. When you were watching him for the start of the season, I thought he'd already retired, but
I heard he's got dandruff.
Yeah, he chucked it months ago. That keeper, didn't he?
Anyway,
he was a good keeper on his day, I suppose.
We've been joined by William. Good evening, William.
Good evening, brothers. Folks,
How
listen, don't panic. I'm not into talk about referees. No way.
Oh, talk about whatever you like, mate. Talk about whatever you like.
James Henry Tavernier. The boy and I were at a Rangers night last month at that Doubletree Hilton in the city centre.
Yep.
It's that company. I think is it Chris Boyd and Arthur Newman run that 5-star company?
I'm not sure, mate. I couldn't tell you.
Aye. Well, it was Scott Arfield and Jermaine Defoe was the two players that was kind of featuring. And me, Tom, for Rangers TV, he was master of ceremonies kind of thing. And he did a Q&A with them. And he got to the point and he said, well, guys, what about the captain? What about James Tavernier? What about him? And they said, the two of them said, not only is he a great player, not only is he a great captain, but he's a great human being. The way he is with the players, the way he supports the players, and he would do anything for any of the players. He says, he's above all, he's a great human being. He's right up there. And I mean, we Defoe, he's been around, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just great to hear. It was some night. It was 600 Bears and Bearettes, and it was a huge room, 600. It was absolutely huge. Great night. That big Tom Stokesman, he was there, and the world's strongest man. He said, seen the women queuing up for his autograph. All the Bearettes were queuing up for his autograph. My boy was loving that. He's a huge fan of him. He went and met him, and the big man spoke away to him, and he was just friendly. I went to meet him. He was so friendly. Really, really nice guy. And so we got a wee talk with Defoe, and just a quick chat when we went in, because we were 40 team with them when we went in, and they were really nice as well. Again, really friendly.
Did you hear any terrific stories that you could repeat?
Well, wee Defoe, he said that it was dead funny. He said that what did he get, an MB or an OB? One of the two. Sure. I think he does a lot of charity work. And he says, my mum found me. Mum found me. She says, oh, do you mind? It's great. It's great. He says, what, mum? What's great? He says, you've got the MBE or the Albright, whatever it was. He says, what the fuck's that? He says, I didn't know what it was. I don't know what it is. He says, do you have any idea what it was? It was a great night. It was a great laugh.
We had Big Tom Stoltman on here for an interview, and he was nothing but a gentleman, mate.
I heard it. Aye, it was great.
And a real bear, mate, and another world champion, you know.
Aye. The boy follows him on YouTube, Ken. He puts a lot of stuff on YouTube. He follows him quite passionately. And he just loves the biggin, loves his career, likes to see what he's doing and that. So he could have a good chat with him because he knew all about him, you know. I didn't know anything about him. I don't really follow him that closely. But can you imagine being in a room with 600 Bearettes? It was amazing. We went to one.
I've been there before.
Aye. It's just the greatest night ever, isn't it? It really is, being in amongst all the Bears like that. We went to one before. It was Barry Ferguson and I think Lee McCulloch, and it was only like 130, and that was down at Royal Troon, the Marine Highlands Hotel down in Royal Troon. And to go for 130, and then you get in there 600. My God, it was unbelievable.
Terrific
Arthur
night.
Newman, he made a bit of a speech as well. He was there.
I met Arthur Newman when I was over in Bangor for a Rangers do, mate, and had a rare time with him, mate. He stayed longer than he should have. He was there the next day, mate, out in the street talking to everybody. He was terrific, mate, absolutely terrific. Great man on the dance floor as well as Big Arthur.
Aye. I think Tom
that's a strange one. That's a good one, by the way. Why did he choose to leave Rangers?
He retired, mate.
Aye, that's what I'm saying. They offered him a contract and he says no.
I don't know.
Reduce wages. They just left. Wasn't that strange? Because he could have went on a 2-3 year playing for Rangers.
Anyway, we've been joined by Bob Jer. Evening, Bob Jer.
Good evening, everyone. How you doing?
No bad, pal.
Well, you're on the subject here, one of my great heroes, Arthur Newman. Arthur Newman could still play for Rangers. There you go. Oh, aye. I found it a bit strange that he left as well. He was a very, very fit boy. A world-class player.
They offered him a contract, Bob Journey. He just didn't take it up.
Aye. Anyway, we've got this game in front of us on Saturday, and there's a feeling of optimism running through the club that's now existed for years, and I think we can do this lot on Saturday. I do.
Well, I hope so.
We'll have most of the ball, and we'll take the game with them, and then you know what Naismith will do. He'll do with the rest, and he'll hide behind the 18-yard line and try and hit Shankland. So I think that's the only way they can perceive the game on Saturday. And I think Rangers will miss the ball, and Rangers will play well, and they'll go at them, and I think Rangers will beat them.
William, what's your opinion on the game on Saturday?
I'm confident. I think we've got an excellent team. We're playing really well. We're high in confidence. We're doing as well as we could have hoped. And I think, do you think that this Diamondi, do you think he could have been brought in and he could be the man to mark Shankland out the game? Could that be a job for him? He can tackle tough and he's quick. You know.
Personally, I would bring back Balogun, mate, to take care of Shankland. That would be my idea, but I don't have any confidence in what I pick and what the manager picks is two completely different things.
We never can guess it, can we?
JM, you'll know beyond for the rest of the week, pal. What's your thoughts towards the game on Saturday?
Yeah, I'm like Bob Jenner. I'm really confident, and I get what's saying. Obviously, Shankland's a threat or whatever, but I don't personally believe we should be too concerned. Obviously, he scored the last time at Ibrox early on, but if we're being honest, we just didn't get the ball out for them first couple of minutes, and he was clever, got on the back of Ridvan and got a header, but he doesn't possess much pace in that. We're going to have most of the ball, and I'm hoping he's going to be quite a passenger in the game, just standing up there. If we play how we've played the last few weeks, Hearts aren't going to get a sniff. It'll be all like the other games. Do start like we did against Aberdeen, then they won't stand a chance. But I'm looking forward to it. But I wouldn't be giving anybody a task of just marking Shankland. I don't think we need to be concerned about any of their players.
Oh, that's kind. You're treating them kind of lightly, mate. They're the informed team in Scotland, so I wouldn't dismiss them just quite as quickly as that. I'll go to you, Jay, Albert. I know we don't want to be repeating ourselves because we're doing the Saturday show, but what do you think yourself, just quickly?
No, I mean, I think the guys have got a point of being confident. We don't be overconfident. You just be quietly confident. On form, we're the team that's on form. We're far better than them. There's no doubt about that. Turn up, play with football in a good park. No, I don't see it as being a problem. But the only thing that worries me is complacency. Don't be complacent. The players cannot be complacent because that Hearts team will take advantage of any complacency in your team. So you have to take it really serious. And I don't think for a minute Clement will let them slack off or be complacent or no take it serious. So quietly confident, mate. Quietly confident.
Well, to be honest with you, I think it's going to be quite a tight game. I'm no thinking about we're going to scalp them myself personally. William, would you like to talk about that? Do you think we'll easily run over the top of them?
No chance. They're 11 games unbeaten. So that tells you something. They've got, big Craig Gordon. I think he's still a top goalkeeper, the big man.
Is he back? Is it no still Xander Clark?
I think Craig Gordon's back. I think he is.
I don't think
he's back. But
he only played in a couple of cup games or something, did he know?
He's not a number one choice, mate. He's not the number one choice. He was the other night. The other week. He played in the cup. He played in the cup game. But he didn't play the other night there when they were playing the other day, or the last league game. It was that boy Clark who was in. But I think Clark's the number one choice, mate. Who's a mad Rangers supporter.
That suits me fine, because I think Craig Gordon's the best keeper they've got.
Aye, well, Xander Clark's been doing reasonably well all season, mate. I don't think they lose a lot of goals, mate, because they're quite strong in the midfield for the rest of the Scottish Premiership. Usually away from home, they go to a kind of 3-5-2. Usually it's Rowles, Kent, and Saboy Kingsley as their three centre backs. And they flood the midfield with 5 players, and then you've usually got Forrest and Shanklin, or the other Varga is the other striker, the 21-year-old boy. So I think they will hope to hold us back and, as people say, hit us on the break. But Forrest doesn't get great pace, and neither is Shanklin. So as long as Goldson and whoever plays alongside him are on the ball, I think we can stop Lawrence Shanklin scoring. Anybody else agree that's it? There's nobody else in their team scores goals.
I think it's that, like you say, it's the fact is if Shanklin was a flying machine, I'd be if we can see possession and give them chances, he'll take them. Obviously, if we don't play well, but if the usual pattern takes place, I'm not concerned because he's not blessed with lightning pace, is he? That's the thing, and none of their forwards seem to be. So if we're switched on, I don't think they have much of an outball if we've got the ball in their half of the pitch.
I take it their biggest threat against us on Saturday is possibly set plays, where the 3 centre backs come forward, and you've also got Shanklin. We aren't blessed with exactly tall players in our side either. Connor Goldson, and that's how I'd play Balogun. I think Balogun's the strongest player we have in the air. Would you agree with that, William?
I would. I like the big man. I like him, and he's got great experience, and he's a clever player. I think he's a clever defender, and I think he can adapt against different types of players. As you say, he's really tall. I like him. I like the big man. I would have no complaints with the big man in for the start.
Bob, Jared, your thoughts?
Well, I would agree with that. I'd stick Balogun in. I mean, you've got a player like Shanklin against you. Let's be fair, the boys did really well this season. It's having a great season. A lot of people were dismayed that he never came to us, but hey-ho, that's past and done with, for the moment anyway. And yes, I would definitely stick Balogun in. Balogun's a class act when he's on his game. He'll play for a few weeks, but he'll be fit and he'll be up for it. And Philippe Clement will not allow any level of complacency at all in any game. Rangers will never be complacent. Rangers will take this 100% seriously on Saturday. And I think Rangers, as I said at the outset, I think Rangers will play well and Rangers will win. Nobody says they'll scalp them 3 or 4. No. There's not a bad side there. The boy Kingsley's a really good player. But I think Rangers will beat them. I don't care if it's a bridge man. I'll take a bridge man any day of the week.
I think
that's what I thought about.
I think that we were saying there that Forrest and Shanklin haven't get pace, but the boy Yoda, the Japanese player, I think he's quite rapid, so I think we would need to keep an eye on him if he starts or comes on as substitute. Do you know much about him, JM?
The force is strong with him. No, I've seen him play a couple of times, but not particularly. Not to be honest.
Trek.
Yeah, how was
it? Star Wars.
Come on. Star Wars. No, again, yeah, like I say, I think like them across the city. I think he buzzes about a bit, then he runs about a bit. But like you say, maybe might get busy with us. Might try and do a job on Lundstrom. Maybe he'll start and try and keep Lundstrom quiet, stop him dictating the play. But yeah, I think the game's going to take the same pattern as it always does at Ibrox. If we don't let them in like we did the last time, we put ourselves under pressure with a really slow start. Was it 3 or 4 minutes they got the goal? And just put ourselves under pressure and missed the penalty just before half time, didn't we? Mm-hmm. So I think they are the in-full team, but I think they're just the best of the rest, and we'll show we're a class above.
The one thing, I mean, if they come to Ibrox and try to flood the midfield, we've got good what would you say, differences in play. We can play the ball on the ground through the middle or out the wings, but we also have that great asset with what centre backs who can hit long balls and take out their midfield to our wingers who I don't know who will be fit, but probably McCausland. Would you say and Oscar are the two wingers that possibly could start? Go to William for that. What wingers do you think would start, mate?
I would agree with that. I think Matondo, he's possibly still injured. He's a talented player. He's a tricky player. McCausland, he's quick, and he really plays for the badge. He really does. He plays for the club. He loves the club, and he's direct, and he's quite intelligent for his limited experience at this level. I think he's quite intelligent. He's been caught out a few times, aye. I think he's learned. I think he's picked up, and I think they're working with him. And I've watched the St Johnstone game a few times now, and I quite liked his work rate, and he's getting more aware of where the danger is, if you know what I mean.
Aye.
Getting more aware of that, and that's good. I hope Sterling gets a start. I like him, really like him. I think we all like him.
We do, but I think the midfield at the moment you can have a good choice in there. Who would be your two to start, Albert?
Lawrence and Cantwell with Lundstrom.
Lawrence Cantwell, so no room for Sterling in the midfield for you?
Not at the beginning of the game, no, mate. But definitely, I'm like William. I like to see the boy on the park eventually. But I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a game for the start. To be honest with you, he's that good. I rate the boy really highly. But they three, if you're going to attack, that's the three you put on the park. You let Lawrence and Cantwell go and tear teams apart. That's what you're looking for. He might be a wee bit more cautious. As I said before, you can never second guess the man. The man knows what he's doing. The man has watched Hearts inside out. He'll know them inside out, and he'll know exactly where their weaknesses are and how to go about this. But we'll see on Saturday what he picks. It'll probably be nothing near what we're trying to pick at the moment. And who cares as long as we win? He can't do no wrong for me. The man, he just keeps winning, and that's just required at this time of the year. It's just keep getting the results. But aye, that's my midfield, mate. Even Diomande, Diomande, he's a third player as well.
Bob Jair, we're spoiled for choice in the midfield. Who would be your sitting to? We know Cantwell will probably play in front of them, but the two that is probably, it's either Lundstrom or whoever. Who would be your two that you would put in there?
Well, I would start with Sterling.
Sterling?
And Cantwell. Right. I would, because to me, he turned the game in our favour on Sunday. All right, the boy that, what's his name, plays for St Johnstone. The big game, come to Aberdeen, considering he chopped him. It was a penalty all day long, we know that. But he looked really strong, really fit, really quick, and I would put him in. But he put them under pressure right away. Lawrence, to me, doesn't look 100% fit yet. But, aye, and then I would take him on, bring on Lawrence, and for one, bring on Lawrence later on for the calm things did. That's what I would do.
You mentioned Sterling there. Do you think his versatility could hamper his career at Rangers? Albert?
Yeah, I think. Sorry.
Well, you've got to be careful. As a player, you've got to be careful.
Not having a settled position, you know.
You could end up just getting yourself shifted about all the team and never settling into a position, which then transfers into when you're looking for a transfer. The first thing they're going to say, well, you're a utility player. We don't buy utility players as much as we do as guys that specialise in a particular position, and that's a fact of life. But I'm just thinking about wee Willie Cortez. I wonder if we're going to play him. He might get a game or two, because he's a tricky wee guy.
JM, your thoughts on Sterling?
On Sterling, yeah, it might be one of them things, isn't it? But I don't think it'll hit it, because if we're constantly playing in Europe like we are, and that, he's always going to get game time because he's that. Because he is that versatile. He can obviously play in the middle. He can play out right or right back, cover the tab. He might not get regular starts in the same position, but there's always going to be a place for him. I don't think he'll start the game on Saturday. I agree with Olberd. That would be my three. I think the 2 games have started at home against Aberdeen and Ross County, it's worked. I don't see the manager changing it, but yet again, would it be fair to drop Diamande? But I think the manager's made it clear it's horses for courses and everyone's going to get their turn.
You mentioned Diamande there, William. What's your thoughts on that young boy you've seen so far?
Well, I'll tell you, folks, see his goal on Sunday. My jaw dropped when he hit the ball and it went in the net. It was one of the kind of goals, you know. It was a jaw dropper. I think he's pretty quick. He's a tough tackler, and I think he's been brought in. Well, obviously toughen up the midfield a wee bit. Gives a bit more mobility. We see he can score goals. What a goal that was! A jaw dropper. And as I say, I think he could be matching the runs of their midfielders. Likes of that Kyogo, matching his run, because remember the goal he got against us. We've got to do something about that. Okay, we can't have him running through. Them playing the ball at the top and running through like that, and nobody can match that run. And that's why I think Diamande could be the type of player that could do that. He could match their runs. I like him, aye.
Well, I think we asked this question before, but I don't know if you got it, Bob. Was the manager right in picking Diamande and Oscar to possibly spend more money on rather than a short-term striker like Shankland? You there, Bob?
Are you directing that question at me, folks?
Yes,
Aye.
I was. Sorry, aye.
I'm sorry, I didn't realise you there, but I've covered myself. I was there in a slumber. I was just listening intently. Right. Do you think they were right to spend the money on Cortez
and Diamande.
instead of Shankland?
Yep.
Aye, because I think they're 2 really good players. I think this Cortez is going to be a really good, skillful player for us. I don't think the boy was very fussy about that surface on Sunday, but that's the nature of Scottish football. But overall, he's going to be a good one for us. And you're saying there that Matondo's still injured. You know, the boys said he's still injured, so he'll come in and do a job. Aye, very skillful player. Diamande, what a strike! I've never seen a goal like that for us since the days of Big Jorg Albert. And it was a magnificent strike. And as you know, the guy says again, he's a good tackler, he's a good player, he's a good passer of the ball, and he's very fit. And he seems to love playing for us. So, yeah, well done, the manager, bringing these 2 laddies in. We've got strikers, we've just not got them fit. You know. By the way, can I ask you, did any see at the start of the week about Cantwell's fitness? There was a wee flash that said he might not play again this season. I don't think that's true. That would have been banner headlines in the paper and stuff.
No,
you know, when he sat there last Sunday with that ice pack on his thigh. I just wanted to get that clarified, because I like Cantwell.
The manager's very, very shrewd, mate, and what could you say? He's very shrewd in what he sees as a possible injury and takes players off. Whether he's done it before with Cantwell as well, that if he thinks a player could possibly be out longer if he stays in the park, he's no slow to bring them off.
No.
And he's handled the squad terrifically at the moment.
He's not slow at all, is he? I think he believes that he's got his squad. I think Easter Road, when at Cantwell was hobbling, he went on to then score a goal, but he never came back out again, did he? He weren't risking it, even though he might have been saying he was all right, and other managers might have been tempted to keep him on. He was straight off, and Tom Lawrence came on. I think he truly believes in it, doesn't it? And also, it must give the players more belief, knowing that you're going to get a chance, and certain players aren't favourites, and they're not going to keep him on. If this manager doesn't think you're fit to carry on playing or to start the game, you're not going to be playing. Think he's doing a bridge, man. What do you reckon, old Bear, on how he protects the team?
I was lighting my cigar, mate, to tell you the truth.
He definitely looks after the players. He's not taking any risks. It's not easy to take risks either, because you have got quality on the bench now. It's different that if you were light on the bench and the players that are not up to it. But you look at the bench now and you go, quality for quality. Taking quality off, quality comes on, and that's a huge upgrade in what we've been watching for years. So there's no need. There's no need to take a risk whatsoever, especially on a part like that. I was actually surprised he put some of our football players on that part, but you can't wrap them in cotton wool for every game. They've got to go out there and win games for you. But don't take risks with him, and he doesn't. Because I think what he whispered in his ear, he's wanting them for this game on Saturday. I'm taking you off because I want you for this game on Saturday. It's most important, this game on Saturday. So that's what we don't want to take any risks here because this game's basically won. And we're not going to take any risks with you. So the man knows what he's doing. He's very astute. Very astute.
Get back to Oscar and Diamandi. How long ago was it that we brought in two young boys, mate, and they were good enough to walk straight into our side? William.
Oh, I don't know when that would be. Jeez, oh.
Every
to be honest.
Probably Bobby Russell.
Well, you knew you're going back, didn't you?
God.
But he did. He played for Chelsea one Saturday and played for Rangers the next.
Don't get me wrong.
Remember
What about more recent times? John Fleck done it, didn't he? 16. John Fleck done it for a bit.
Probably Barry Ferguson.
But we never bought Barry Ferguson in, mate.
Oh, you're
No,
talking about
right.
bringing players in.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I know your side at the moment.
What about a young Colombian that came in and carried the team for 4 years?
Well, that's fair enough, mate. That's one.
He carried the team for 3 years on his own when it was garbage, didn't he? Oh, I didn't kick on or finish with Morelos, but he was a young lad when he came in, straight in.
Well, we've got young McCausland in the side as well, who's another young boy. I think I read somewhere the other week there that our average squad age. Have a guess what that is. I'll go to you, Albert, first.
It's got to, well, Goldstone and that would put it up a wee bit, but it's got to be down there a bit. 24, 23, 24.
No, it's slightly higher. It's 26, but I think it'll be a long time since we had a squad that young at Ibrox. William, eh?
Aye, it certainly is. But maybe Ryan Kent. Did we forget about Ryan Kent? What age was he when he came in?
Yeah, true. He would have been youngish on loan, wouldn't he? He would have been early 20s or 20. He might have been even
when we bought him, Jim. What age was he when we bought him?
Yeah, not about. I don't know, but he would have. It was early 20s, wasn't it? It was still young enough.
Mm-hmm. Aye.
When he came in, yeah.
Aye.
Came in and played left wing on his own, kept that position for years, didn't he?
I think that, see the Diamandi and the Cortez thing, I think the thing is about them is, as opposed to Shankland, there's no sell-on opportunity with Shankland. We bring him in, we use him a couple of seasons, we'll not get any money from him. That's the thing with Shankland.
A lot of people would counter that by saying if we get into the Champions League this year, we'd get a £60 million jackpot right enough, you know.
Aye, but also, as I said, playing with Hearts is different. It's different from playing with Rangers. It's 2 banks of 5 every week when you play with Rangers. That's the difference.
That's true. I also read a stat about Shankland, mate, he was a player in the Scottish Premier League. He's the one player that loses the ball or loses possession most. Does that surprise you? Does that surprise you, Bob, yeah?
It surprises me very much. Lawrence Shankland is a striker. He thrives on service. And he was getting good service at Hearts with the boys that he's been described. He scored a lot of goals this year. And he was certainly getting service with Rangers. So, it's been a long season with controversy. Well, I use that word. That we analysed Lawrence Shankland. We never got him in the window, and that's it for some reason or another. As much as the boy laid doing his thing, they would love to play for Rangers. They maybe still will. I don't know. But, he's not here and we're doing all right with him. We've got good strikers. We just can't get them fit. And the big distance will just start to look up and have a go. well, he could maybe be up there aside Shankland and all, because it's not like he's not getting the chances. So Rangers are creating chances, he's just putting them away. So we've got a good settled squad at the moment, a good fit squad at the moment, some of them have not had for a long time. And a good manager. Rangers are in a place they've not been for a long time, and let's take advantage of it, boys.
I mean, you brought up Cyril Dessers there, mate.
Aye.
Between him and Shankland, who's got the best goals per minute, do you think?
I don't know. It's obviously Shankland who scored more goals.
No, it's actually
That's
Cyril
not what's
Dessers,
different,
mate.
aye. Yeah. There you go. And he could have had more. When you think about the ones he's been right through, 1-on-1 with goalkeepers, and it's just got to learn to look up the boy. I don't know, now I'm not playing at top level, but take a wee touch with a goalkeeper, you've got the whole goalkeeper at you. That's easier said than done, eh?
Folks, if that stat's right about Shankland losing the ball more than any other player in the league, that's not a stat that will turn Clement on. You'll not touch him with a bar's full of. But if that stat's true, that's no the type of player he's after. It's just no. Goals or no goals, you better not lose that ball. He doesn't like you losing the ball. It doesn't mean you taking a chance, but he doesn't like you losing it. So there's one thing that Clement will not like about him. And he's right. The thing you've got to understand with the Monte and Cortez is they're available. So the availability of these players, if he's wanting any players and they become available, now's the time to sign them. So you've got to take that into consideration. It's all right saying, who we signed, Shankland or they two, and we all give reasons, but one of the base reasons is they two come up, and these quality type players are not going to come on the market that often for the price we are getting them at. So you've got to take that into consideration, and they two are definitely sell-on values. Shankland's a chance that we get the Champions League and we get the money. That's a chance. These two are guaranteed, but you will improve them and sell them on for profit. That's a guaranteed. So you've got to take that into consideration as well. So it's not just the here and now, it's long term.
JM, I believe you've got the teams that we could possibly face tomorrow.
Well, yeah,
in the draw.
There's a few ties still going on in one, I believe. I don't know if that's finishing up. Sparta are winning by a goal, but it also looks like Feyenoord and Roma's going to be, still looks like it's 1-2, so that's still going to extra time. So at the moment, confirmed in the draw, SC Freiburg, Milan, Benfica, Karabag, is that right? How I'm saying that? Yep. Sporting Lisbon, Marseille, and then we're just waiting for Sparta are ahead with a goal against Galatasaray. Galatasaray down to 10 men, and it looks like Roma and Feyenoord are heading towards extra time. So we get either Roma or Feyenoord. It looks like Sparta Prague now, and then SC Freiburg, Milan, Benfica, Karabag, Sporting Lisbon, or Marseille.
So, which are picked? You know the teams that's practically in front of you, mate. So, who are you looking for in the draw?
Oh, who am I wanting out? Who do I fancy out of that? Who haven't we played before? I don't fancy the trip, the Karabakh. Benfica,
we usually do well against.
We do.
Portuguese sides.
We do. We've got a record there, haven't we? So not a bad record in Portugal, I don't think. Let's have Benfica, because I think, like you said, Sporting are flying. I think, aren't they? Got a bit of a player going. So let's take Benfica.
Okay. Any of those teams catch your eye there, Bob J, that you might like?
I didn't want this Karabakh. They're for Azerbaijan, and that's a hell of a distance away, like.
6.5 hour flight, I think.
Oh, easy. You didn't want that. Play a game. I didn't want to use that word. Hang me on a boot.
I'm sure the SPL will do something to allow us a bit of extra time.
Oh, so they would.
I'm sure if we got them, they'd help.
So they would. But I would fancy taking back on Sparta Prague. We're in a lot better shape now than when we played them before in the group stages. So the Sparta Prague for me. Although we're Rangers and we can go for it against anybody,
Yeah. William, any MD catch your eye there?
Well, I agree. We don't want Carrier Bag, because that's just too much hassle.
Carrier.
And that's a Scottish name for them. I think Marseille, we owe them one, didn't we?
Aye.
I think we
Got to
also owe Sparta one. Marseille, I think, would be, that's kind of trendy, and we definitely owe them one. Aye. I'd like that. That's a nice trip for the Bears.
Did I
I
ask
would
you,
take-
Albert? Huh?
No, I would take St Johnson. That's what I would take.
But no, the pitch, Albert,
I don't care who we get, mate. As long as I don't want that carry-out bag, as William say. I don't want that one. But any other one, it doesn't bother me, mate. It really doesn't, because I think on their game, this team's capable, especially Europe. This team's capable of doing wonderful things. And we've got this knack of winning in this cup. So I don't fear anybody.
Well, we're just about finished here at the show, so we'll get round to you all for your last comment. Bob Jert, looking forward to the game on Saturday. So
Absolutely looking forward to every game. As I say, there's a right of confidence running through the club that's not been here for a long time. All there'll be slip-ups and setbacks, but we'll be ready for them. We've got a good man, a good squad. Bring on Saturday. Europe will take care of itself. Thanks for having me on, Fox. The only show gets better every time you listen.
thank you very much. William?
Well, a great show, guys, as usual. Great show. You do a great job, you really do. Fox, for a man of your vintage, you did a great job tonight. You really did.
Oh,
And
I
know
started
it's difficult
my way
multitasking.
through it, mate.
You did well. It's multitasking. It's no easy. It's no easy. Albert, great job. Giant, great job. Well done, guys. Great show.
Cheers.
Thanks,
I
Will.
don't
Cheers,
always phone
William.
in, but I always listen. Okay, keep up the good work, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. JM?
Yep. Cheers, guys. Good to be on with the original Young team. Enjoyed myself and looking forward to Saturday now.
Thank you very much, Paul. Albert? You need to give the Bridgeman speech now. Come on.
I can't remember the Bridgeman speech. I can't remember yesterday, mate. You asked me to remember a speech. No, it was good to hear you on, mate. You've done a great job tonight. Bringing you back out of retirement. That's you back in the swing it now. So more shows, please.
Thank you.
I enjoyed being on with you and JM. It was good. That was good, mate. And now I'm focused totally and utterly on Saturday. We want the 3 points on Saturday, please, and that'll do me nicely. And we march on. Onward and upward.
Thank all you guys for helping us produce a show tonight. I've thoroughly enjoyed doing this. And I'll be back on Saturday, funny enough, with Albert with you. So we do the pre-match. So that's something I'll not be looking forward to either. Anyway, a big shout out to Terry for doing the other side of the technicals tonight. And thank you very much for listening. We'll be back tomorrow night. We'll be joined by, I think it's Southside Bridgeman and young Robert, I think. So thanks very much for listening. Thank you. Good night.